Well, hey YouTube, Petey Two Finger here, relating a tale from my childhood. We had these neighbors that lived two doors down, and the mom. One time I was there visiting my friend, and the mom was preparing some food, and it smelled really good. I don't remember her preparing food often, and I was over there a lot. She didn't cook much. Um, Now, that being said, we smelled something really good, and my buddy said, my mom's making this special food. Let's go check it out. So we went down there. She's in the kitchen, and she tells me, this is a recipe from my grandma. I don't cook very much, and this is a special thing. I make this. My husband likes it. I think they were Lithuanian. I really liked them. I liked the dad and the mom. They were both cool people. They were like the coolest parents in that I had ever met. Just really great people. He coached little league initially. They had boys. They had like four boys, and later on, I remember them jogging all the time. He smoked cigars. I remember he drank red, white, and blue beer. Now he wasn't like an alcoholic guy. He would have a beer after he cut the grass. He would have a beer and watch uh, the Cubs or the Sox. I'm not sure who he was a fan of, but all American people of Lithuanian descent. She made these things. It was pastry with meat in it, and she offered one for me to try. They were coming out of the oven. It was cookie sheets full, and they were small. They were like the size of a $half. And I ate this thing, and it was like the best thing I ever ate in my life. Like, no joke. The meat, the combination of that buttery dough and that meat, and the flavor of the meat. It wasn't beef, it wasn't pork, it wasn't chicken. I think it was lamb. It was more like almost like a gyro. Like there might have been chopped up onions in it, or maybe some spice. I don't know. I have no idea what it was. I just know that she let me have more, that I had like four or five of these things. I couldn't stop eating them, and they were incredible. And I went home and told my mom about it, and my mom just kind of turned her nose up at it. And that was that. And I never forgot it. It was like this one time I had this food. So today we tried these empanadas from Aldi. They were meat empanada, and I really didn't care for them. As a matter of fact, my wife was throwing some sour cream down. It looked like maybe she enjoyed it. And I was like, you go ahead and have mine. I'm going to have a bean burrito. So it had what is that, cilantro in there, and I can't do it. So I'm looking at this empanada, and I'm thinking, gee, this reminds me of that mystery food that I had. It was pastry with meat, and I'm not sure about him. I seem to remember that she was of Lithuanian descent. So I typed in Lithuanian empanada, and I found it. I can't believe this thing that's bothered me since I was like 10 years old or 15 years old, somewhere in there. It's bothered me, and now I know what it is. And it's called excuse me, I have to look this up. There's one, two, three, four, five different spellings. A kybyn, so it's Kibin, a kibinai, Kibinai, a kybyn as in Kybyn, and a kybynas. And it looks like they come in mushroom, pork. Pork looks like it's popular. Pork is popular. Mushroom, pork, chicken, lamb, and then a sweet kibben, which is pear and like some type of a fruit, which I'm sure that's really good. And I'm like, now this is a thing I'm going to want to try them all. Really, this is the kind of thing that you want to learn how to make. So, looking at what I came up with, there is a kuzubudu.com, Kuzubudu, kuzubudu.com, gateway to Ottoman cuisine and Turkish food. Okay, so this is a Turkish version of it. It's a lamb version, and it says here, this is Kuzubudu kybyn, Ottoman bakery. I did a bit of research on the internet, but the recipes I found were not the kybyn I was looking for. All the recipes were manti or dumplings, called hingle, hinkle, or haluj. At last I found the recipe. I did a few tweaks on the recipe while trying to cook. I mentioned these tweaks, so you can disregard that at your pleasure. The version I cooked got top points from the testers. I strongly recommend this dish. And again, like I said, this was something I never forgot. It again, like one of the best things that I ever had in my life. And like when it comes to that type of stuff, certain meats, like I had this South American medallion of beef at this restaurant, which was a Brazilian South American cuisine, and I'll never forget that, how unbelievably good it was. I've slow cooked some ribs, and I've hit that sweet spot with those ribs just a handful of times where it was like that heavenly, otherworldly, like this is a really special meal type of, you're not going to experience this very often. And most often it'll be something that you've never tried before. And then that type of, like this is an old world, like spices that I had never tried, probably added a lot to it. But the recipe calls for, it's flour, lamb meat, butter, yogurt, eggs, onions, salt, black pepper, and oregano. That's it. So at some point, I'm going to need to try this, I guess. I guess what I'm saying is, if you know more about this, if you could help me out, if you have a family recipe, I would love to try to replicate this here. If you've never tried it and you're into cooking and somehow you ended up on this video, try it. If you're into cooking and this isn't a big deal for you, this is one of those things that if I could only get that recipe, it was unbelievable. Like I said, it was a pastry. It was like a golden brown dough ball with meat in it, but the meat had a flavor that I had never experienced, and it was just really good. It wasn't overly spicy. It wasn't hot, but it did have something going on there, and it was an incredibly unique and pleasant flavor. So I'm guessing that was the lamb. All right, you guys, I'm going to put a link to this, and if you have any info on this kybyn, please let me know. Direct me. I'm going to be checking more of it out, but at least I know what it's called today, and that was a huge step forward. Initially I didn't find out about the lamb. My wife found at what type of restaurant was that?
Lithuanian.
A Lithuanian restaurant on their menu, and looked at that and saw that they had lamb version of the kybyn, and that's how we determined that. So pretty cool day for me. I'm excited about this, but it's probably going to be a little bit of a wait before I get to sink my teeth in, and who knows, All right, you guys, all the best, and good thoughts, good words, good deeds. Peace.